random. I told you I wasn't going live. But we got done with what we were doing a little bit earlier than expected. Thank you to everybody who prayed that it was not going to rain. It did not till we were ready to leave. So we got everything done. So I kind of have some makeup on and don't get used to it and don't expect it too much. With that being said, I kind of had a really rough night's sleep last night for some reason. I had a panic attack come out of like nowhere. I don't know where it came from at all. And I just totally decided come home. I didn't even tell anybody I was going live. Nothing. I just said, well, let's do this. Guys get to enjoy my nails a little bit longer while they look good. Um, now I don't have to worry about it so much. But anyway, I'm really tired, and I thought, um, I'm gonna fall asleep, and it's like 8:30, and I don't want to fall asleep, then I won't get a good sleep tomorrow. Oh, by the way, I was invited by, and I don't know if I have a link in here. If not, I will get it. From another channel friend of mine, one of my mods who lives not far from me. She has won tickets to the Balloon Festival in Ashland, Ohio tomorrow. And so we are going there to observe that. I don't know if it's that one or this. I've got to look. It's not coming up yet, so to give it a minute. We're gonna go there tomorrow and watch the balloon festival and glow lights and stuff. So she's invited me. I'm so thankful. Looking forward to that. But we have to actually go tomorrow. We're going tomorrow, and so my plan of doing this and working on this tomorrow kind of went out the window. We're finishing this. I'm going to leave this. We kind of had an issue right here, but the glue worked. I mean, I just let it be, but it's still, I'm not totally happy with it. Like I said, this is not a pattern I would ever do. This is going to be mine. And, I thought about it last night. We in our lives kind of have scratches and bumps and stuff and dents and scars. And this is kind of what this is going to as we kind of go through life and we have kind of our own little learning experiences and so forth. So, I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to treasure this. I'm so blessed, but we're going to do this for sure in other patterns and other ways or to make this blessed happen or other ones similar to it. Um, but I want to finish this. I don't want to put it on the back burner. I want to finish it. And I really kind of work on it pretty hard tonight because I really want to get it done and move on to some other patterns I have that are not so complicated and ones that I can actually, hello, Kale, one that I can actually put onto the merch store so that you guys can have some patterns to download. So that's just kind of what I would like to get done. So if you're coming in, if you've never heard of this project or this kind of art, it's called, Mom's learned it better than I have. Kinusaiga. Kinusaiga. I'm learning it, guys. I'm trying to learn it. It's the art of tucking fabric, and I still crochet. I'm not giving up crocheting. But I did put a channel up today in our channel shout outs that did a really good frame. It was a really good way that they did their frame, which I just thought was really good for those that are trying to learn how to do this and want to do like a shadow box kind of frame. So anyway, I thought, well, yeah. So I'm taking all my supplies out that I'm going to need. I may need the glue because I needed it last night. But I'm really tired and I thought, thank you. I'm tired. I thought if I go to bed, like I'm gonna fall asleep and then I won't be tired tonight. So I won't be asleep. It's like 8:30 here. I'm like, and I thought about taking all the stuff outside. I did enjoy that last night. Just what happened tonight. I thought, well, we'll just get her done. So I thought I can come on and work on this, have some tea with y'all, Like I said, we got done sooner than we expected from our little activity that we did together as a family. Came home and I thought, well, tomorrow, which is I was going to work on this tomorrow, kind of went out the window, and I need to kind of get this one done before we start a flag one. I've got that pattern done, and I have learned so much from doing this. And part of this art form is you're learning where you have to make room for your cuts and for your angles and so forth to happen. And so I'm learning that that's when I do patterns, I've got to make room for those cuts like I did here. So that's something I learned on the other pattern. It was the flag pattern. I originally did this, thought that'll work. Tea. I'm not having juice tonight. I've had it for the past couple of days. I'm gonna give myself a break tonight. But I'm learning that there are places where I'm going to need to make provisions for cutting, or not cutting, provisions for easier way of making strips. And so I'm learning that. And that's kind of what I'm learning here a little bit, is I'm already looking at this going, I'm probably going to have to make little things, even though I'm probably going to put the same fabric in. There's probably about 3 different spaces I'm going to need to do in order to make that all happen. So this was the green, but I have the flag pattern. I have the cross. We're going to do the flag pattern on the 29th. I think I've got that one started. But I thought, wasn't planning to go live, but I thought, let me come live, and I need to kind of stay awake. I don't want to fall asleep. You guys can put hashtag blessed in the chat if you want people to connect with your channel. So let's just do this. I need some full time. This is just, I'm going to tell y'all, if you're looking for something that's very relaxing, this is very relaxing, actually very peaceful. It's just, and I did say yesterday, I said, I've got to come up with some patterns that I just do and get ready, that when, like last night, I don't know what was happening last night, but I was just having hi Alfonso. I was having an anxiety moment. I thought, oh, if I had a project, I think I would have come out here and sat and done it. I probably would have calmed myself down just doing it. But I had this pattern. I didn't want to continue it without being on live so you guys can see the progress of it. Well, we are going to the balloon festival tomorrow, and so I'll be taking you all with me. I've always wanted to go. Actually, I wanted to go last year too. And something happened and we didn't go. And I said, Josh, remind me when it's time to go. And she was looking for some friends to go with her, and I thought, perfect. So hi Shelly, welcome on in. I forgot to find out what it is because I don't know what it is. I have to get her one. I thought I had one for her channel, but I don't see it. And she'll probably be going live or taking video from it too. We had a wonderful time. We did have to leave. We had to move the time when we were doing the activity. So, but it all worked out. Those that prayed that rain would not happen. We were leaving the area and rain hit. So, thank you all very much for your prayers, because I'm so thankful that all came down the way it did. So thank you very much. But you know, last night after everything happened with this thing, I thought I just want to just chuck this one. I go, no, I'm gonna finish it and I'm gonna proudly display it because I've just learned. And when I did the flag pattern that we have, I'm like, I actually went back and modified that. And I made cuts where I'm like, that should have been a cut here. I need to make a cut here. So I actually went back to the flag pattern that we're gonna do on the 4th, I think it is. No, not the 4th, the 29th. And I'm like, yep, need to make modifications to that. And I knew exactly where to do it because I had learned from this. So like I said, we are going to be offering this pattern. It's just going to be in a different way we're going to do it. But this one will always be special. Now I've glued, we had an issue last night with this little piece. I'm going to have to come back in because I don't have it glued itself, which is fine. That's what I wanted. But I don't have a place to put this. Those that prayed for no rain, you did us proud because there was no rain. It threatened it all the way up there. It threatened it while we were there, but then once it got there, nothing. It was beautiful. It's just there wasn't much wind, but we're supposed to get, I think it's next week, like a really bad heat wave. Like, y'all, we won't probably be outside much. So I was kind of glad we got everything done that needed to get done. Well, it was not roasty toasty because it's supposed to be very roasty toasty next week. But if I yawn through this string, you're gonna know I'm tired. I am really tired. But I just thought if I go lay down, go get ready for bed, I'm gonna fall asleep, and then I'm gonna, when you fall asleep and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have fallen asleep, and then you take a nap this late at night, and then you're tired, and you go, oh, I can't fall asleep now. That was my fear. No, let's just go work on it. But I said to Josh, I said, you're gonna do some more cutting. But I'm gonna have to just now next week we will all take you to the local to cut that a little bit more. Just cut all that little slits I did. Take you to the I'm gonna go to that quilt shop. It's a farmer, not a farmer's market. It's an I can't talk tonight. The Amish one, and I want to go up there and just look. I'll have to find it. I thought I did one for her, but I did not. I will. And y'all, if you go back after our lives and make comments, I will look for people too, just so people know. When I do shout outs now, I am starting to pay attention in a way I didn't before. And it wasn't that, it was just, just we're growing and so forth, paying out who is watching our playlist, right? Watching our playlist, commenting. I'm checking out their channel and I'm picking sometimes the shout outs. Yep, because it gets too hot. I'm picking out the shout outs from channels that are commenting. So, make those comments because when I go through, sometimes if I'm like, I don't know what channel to give a shout out to. I go through our comments and I look and see who's made a comment and I will give you a channel shout out based on that comment. So just something to keep in mind as far as us looking for channels. And and Alfonso, I'm going to find a pattern. I'm going to make one. And I will do it for you, my friend, of one of these with a train. But that's not now, but I will get it eventually done and I'll send it to you. So, you know, I thought last night, I thought I'm not gonna keep this pattern. Oh gosh. And I thought, nope, we all have scars. We all have things to happen in our lives. We all have things that go on. We all have little bumps and scrapes and marks, and none of us are perfect. And none of us are perfect while we're learning something. You know, while we're learning something, we're not going to be perfect. We're going to make mistakes. So we're making mistakes through this, but I'm learning so much through this pattern that all these little, well, I could have done this little section better, and I know I need to do this, and I need to add more cut lines in the pattern to be able to make it easier. Those are all learning curves. And I can go back and, yeah, don't make that mistake again. So I thought, I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to look back and go, yep, I learned a lot from that. Perfect? No. But I learned a heck of a lot from it. And each piece, each thing is going to have its own little, and it's just practice. So can I just encourage anybody, if somebody picks up this art form, start off slow, start off easy. That's the first thing. Do not pick a difficult pattern like Lester Crochet did on the second time around. Take it slow. And if you mess up and it's not as good, keep it. And then just reference it. Reference it and be able to go back. Oh, I could have done that better. And oh, I see where I made my mistake on that. So keep it. Don't, don't get upset about it. Just keep it and say, okay, what can we learn about this one? I'm going to fix this. I don't think I'm staying on here long, so I'm going to probably go one point here and go to sleep. I go to bed early. I know I'm going to bed early. That I know. Kind of look this up just a little bit. Just try. I've got to finish this. I've got to fix this little part. Just can't get it to the point where it's. But I'll probably be getting it on the next side. Okay, well, I'm going to get that, and then and my nails kept together until today. Now, after today, I cannot promise what they're going to look like, but they stuck together. They kept in for the ride. Let's just say that. Trying to fix this little part, and it's just irritating. Bring this out a little bit. Now, on the 11th, we are planning to make a trip down to, what is it? Plain City. We'll see. If I do, I'll be sitting in the back seat. But we'll just see how that kind of goes. It's not. But yeah, making a trip down there for just a family get together. we try to meet up with Josh's mom and grandma every so often, because as long as grandma's here, it's an absolute blessing. We're thankful she is here. So every little bit we're thankful. So we try to meet like halfway every couple of months so we can see her and Josh can see her and so forth. Christina can see her. So, but I know my mom will be coming. And so anytime mama's coming now for what's coming down the pike, I have to sit in the back. Because her knee just can't get around what's in the back seat now. So it's gonna be the way it is. I'd like to bring cross down to my husband's grandmother. I'd like to be able to do that for her because it was her birthday on the 15th. Make that a present for her. So I would really encourage you to not sit there with whatever project you're working on and just toss it. Work on it, finish it, and get it done and learn from each piece you do, especially if you're just starting. I'm very proud of just how much I've learned. And I think sometimes we do things, we don't take into account that we're learning. We've got to take that time we've got to take, we have to have a learning curve, We have to have learning curves. People don't become master people on an instrument by just putting it in their hand one day and playing. They become because they keep doing it over and over again. Can anybody do this art? Absolutely. I think with just time and effort, I think you absolutely can. And I could really see this, honestly. Just if you had your local town and you were able to get a group of ladies together, especially if they're quilters, if they work with fabric, we can absolutely see that happening where they you get it. You just say, okay, let's bring your yarn or your fabric over and let's just work on this. I can absolutely see that happen. I could see a lot of laughter happening. For sure. I forgot to bring my fan in here. I forgot something. I wanted to just come and sit and do this for a while, and I thought, I gotta bring you all along because we've been in the whole thing from the start of this whole thing. but I will be getting some projects done that I just need to do. I just found this just so relaxing. I know what that was. See, that side's not going to be perfect because it was just too small. It gets so hot in this little corner after that marking in. Get support. We don't want to pop this out like we did the other one, right? That was not a good thing. I have to go up and move the fan. It just gets very stuffy over in this corner. It's like, I'm not going to be able to get that. It's going to be, it's just be the way it is. Because it's just not going to, I'm going to ruin it more than I'm going to fix it if I keep messing with it. I will have to put a little glue there. Because part of it is, it's the the blue from the other part of it, and I didn't do it. It's from here. You know, I think I got that. That'll work. But it's just, like I said, we're learning as we go. This whole thing, I'm not going to be able to get that. That's just going to have to stay a little just shoveled right there. I could put a little glue so it doesn't dishevel anymore, I guess. We're just going to have to leave it. It's not as clean as I'd like it right in here. I don't know if I can get it. I think that's about all we're going to get. May have to stick a little bit of glue right there. Eventually, I think that's better. That's better. Got that a little bit better. Still not what I want, but it'll work. You can tell it's an S. And that little piece, I will say we did a little bit more glue than I think you should do right where I was last night. However, we had a little problem because the piece just popped out last night. So I'm just trying to kind of get this in the hole, but the thing is so tough right there. I'm just gonna have to kind of take that around because it's not gonna go in the thing literally popped out of the hole and I can't get it past that. It's not going to work. That's fine. We'll have our little scratches. We'll have our dents. We'll have our misfits section. And I've watched people do this, and not everybody's perfect, especially when people say this is their first or second attempt. So give yourself grace, guys. Hi, Angela. Welcome on in. We're doing an art form that I have recently fallen in love with. I'm not giving up crochet, but it's called Kinusaiga. My mother says it better. I'm still trying to learn. I have dyslexia, so sometimes it's hard for me to do. I'm doing good. How are you doing? So we're working on this project. We're in the process of trying to make patterns for you all, and the pattern tester is me. I'm the pattern tester, and so This is not one that we will have available because I have seen it's a pattern we made, but I not kind of knowing what I'm doing and learning this art form realized, oh, there's some errors that make this pattern not gonna work, but I have a way to work around it to make it work. It's just I have to order the wood letters off Amazon, and that's how you would get it to work. But I am going to finish this. This one will be a special place in my heart because we're all full of bumps, we're all full of scrapes. We're not perfect in anything we do for the first time or second or third. Sometimes it takes a while to make our improvements. I'm better than I was the first time I did one. I'm gonna take a break from the letter because that was, and like I did learn the trick about taking a little bit of glue and like I want to hit this little corner before I forget with your seam ripper because I can see this is going to do a lot of fraying. So if there's something you just see is going to be a fray issue, put a little glue on your seam ripper and take that and hit it so that you're kind of preventing the seam or a possible fray. And it's just the way that I've decided to do this pattern is why I'm having issues with a little bit more fray than I would normally have. It's because I didn't, I don't know, just work to do it this way. No, it doesn't. But it's okay. We're learning. Not upset. We're learning. Okay, we're just gonna hit that because that'll dry. I got quick drying glue for the purposes of that. Okay. Let's hit on, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do with the D. Let's move down here for a minute. Give myself a break from up there. Because the letters are a little in the neck. Trying to be. Uh-oh. I'm trying to just stay awake because I'm tired. If I go to sleep now, then I won't go to sleep later, and then I'll be up for hours, and I don't want to be up for hours. I think I'm gonna stay. Purple house wheel. I think I'm gonna. Oh, that's not big enough. I think we're gonna use this. That kind of here. I kind of like that. Kind of hit that blue. Where is the? Do we have any left other than that? I think we're gonna hit. Ooh. I'm gonna take this one. It's a little different. It's got like a little bit lighter. I think the flowers. We're just gonna put that there. We're kind of keeping the same thing, but it's a little different. I put that one by the B. I'm gonna move this up just a little bit because it's just. Not giving me enough room to tuck. There we go. Oh boy. I'm sleepy. I'll have to keep me awake till at least 10 o'clock. I may not make it till 10 o'clock. Really tired. Nerve wracking because what we were doing was all outside and it was like we had to capture it now and rain didn't know what it wanted to do. It was literally changing, like couldn't believe it. It was like every time I looked at it, I was like, it's going to rain. It's not going to rain. We have people praying and I'm so thankful for their prayers because it worked. Like, please don't rain. Please don't rain. Please don't. And it didn't. Decided to cooperate for what we needed it to cooperate with. Thank goodness. Kind of all leading up all week, I was like, please, no rain between this time and this time. So oops, I stepped on the glue again. Yeah, well, it'll be fine. So I wasn't planning to come live. I was going to go do it tomorrow, but one of my moderators that doesn't live very far from where I live is going to the Balloon Fest in Ashland tomorrow. And she needed somebody. She wanted somebody. She was asking if anybody wanted to go, and I'm like, I'll go. And so I was like, and I've always wanted to go. I've never seen it every year. I've wanted to go see the balloons. You know what I mean? So hopefully we pray for no rain tomorrow. But I'll go bring my little stroller fan with me. Gonna go in my walker. Because I don't need my walker, but so she invited myself and my husband with her husband. So I'm like, okay. So we were gonna sit and do this tomorrow, but the plans changed, which is fine. I'm looking forward to going. It's good. So much easier. I think y'all are gonna like the flag. Got the flag one going. I think y'all are gonna really like it. Get that one done. So it's just a little bit different than the one next to it. Is the fabric. The hardest decision about this whole thing is figuring out which fabric you want to use. It's the hardest part of this whole thing. It's really figuring out the fabric. Let's see. And keep your knife or your cutting tool out. Because sometimes I've noticed if it's not a deep enough cut in your back and just recut it again, way you can get in there and make sure that you're putting your fabric deep enough. I'm going to sleep good tonight. Man, I'd like to figure out what happened last night. It's like I was fine. I went to bed just fine. And then all of a sudden I was like, that panic attack came out of absolutely nowhere. Wonderful fibromyalgia life. So, I don't know where it came from. It literally was like out of the blue. My mom was like, well, you were worried about the dang on rain. I said, I know, but still. It was literally, it was like I just was like, where did it come from? I hate those when they come up and they just exhaust you. I couldn't really relax till we got what we needed to done today. And I was like, well, now I can start relaxing. Don't worry about the rain. My mom's like, I don't remember Mary being so, paying attention to so much of the rain or the weather. And I was like, no, but and I wanted to say and I didn't get to because she's live while I was doing this, but if Simply Jan Homestead is watching, congratulations on 100,000 community members. I saw you live and I was just going live and I thought I can't stop in and say hello, but I just wanted to congratulate. I'll go back on her video and congratulate. She was doing a giveaway and I just want to say congratulations. Be nice to get there myself or ourselves one day. You never know what God's gonna make happen. Just gotta trust in Him, that's for sure. Okay, we're gonna do blue on that one. Oh, excuse me. Josh, don't you start yelling over there. Oh, nuts. See if I can fix it. I don't know if I can. I may have to recut more. Well, maybe I can reposition it. I may be able to fix it. Fixed. Oopsie. Oopsie. Come back here, you. You have to make sure you're not doing it enough to fray the material. And I would say that some of this fabric is really nice, I would say. But I think some of it is a little too sheer for what I'm doing. But I'm so thankful I had it because I've learned, and it's really pretty. It's just, I think I'm starting to learn like thicknesses of fabric too, and how much I can press with the seam ripper and all that kind of stuff, and making sure that the fabric is in deep enough before I start cutting, because then if you don't do that, then you're going to fray. Making sure that you're not hitting that tip, because that will also start a fray. Had that accidentally cut the fabric, not intentionally, just because I'm learning. So I really take time now to kind of make sure that before I'm cutting the excess off, it's really in there. We're gonna work, like I said, we were working on this tomorrow, but I got a nice surprise today. I'm looking forward to going to that festival. I hope it doesn't rain tomorrow, but I'm not as worried about it. What?
Are you still alive?
Yes.
Tell you a little bit.
Everything okay?
Everything's fine, but you might not be doing the show next.
Why? Because of the heat?
110 sound bad to you?
Well, we'll bring our fans.
Anywhere from 105 to 110, 112.
Bring our fans. Okay, like that blue there. Doop a doop a doop a doop a doop. Don't quite know what to do for that bottom one. I'm looking through my scraps. Seeing what I have. I think I'm going to use this because it's got the purple and the pink. The purple, I kind of like the way that kind of section looks there. So let's do that. Because I'm trying to use up some of this fabric. They kind of and if I don't, as long as it's over the edge, because I'm going to use paint sticks to take care of this one, but as long as you have enough to go over the edge, even if I just have to glue that, I'll be fine. Not a problemo. Kind of like these little flowers here. It looks neat. I'm trying to kind of keep with like purples and blues over here, and to kind of keep with there. And then I'm going to move over to yellow. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. Like I said, I'm tired, but if I go to bed, I'll fall asleep for a little bit, and before you know it, I will be wide awake and not able to sleep. So, better that I stay awake for a little bit and get this further done so we can be done with this one and move on, because we've got the flag one right around the corner. I've got that scheduled for Monday. It's 4th of July is this weekend, next weekend. And believe it or not, guys, that's what I forgot. We're having turkey. We got a turkey for Thanksgiving, and we were out of town for Thanksgiving, and my mother and I have always struggled with making a turkey. I don't do it well. My mother doesn't do it well. We got a turkey bag. We were given a turkey back in Thanksgiving, and it's in the freezer, and it's been in the freezer. And so we just sat there and thought, we don't really get our food budget until the 6th. So, you know what? Let's just go and. It's not there. Not well. I know what I'm going to do. We're going to. We're going to make a turkey. Hey there, Riches. Hi, Sandy. Welcome on in. We're going to make a turkey on for 4th of July. So, wasn't planning to come live, but I'm really tired. But I don't want to fall asleep. We got what we needed to done today. No rain happened, thank goodness. My nails held together till then. Let me give a big shout out to the nail salon tech that did Christina's nails. She was a gem today. She was an absolute gem, right? I messed up and she took care of Christina, and I am so grateful. So, big shout out to her, and absolutely 100%. So, anyway, we got done with that, and I'm really tired. It didn't rain. We got what we needed to do done because it was all outside. But I'm really tired, and I thought if I go to bed, I'm gonna fall asleep. So we got home about 7:30, and I'm gonna fall asleep. That's why I have all my makeup on, because we were doing something that needed me to kind of have all my makeup on. I normally don't get it on. And so anyway, we did that, and I came home thinking I'm gonna fall. I better just come live. I've been so careful. It's not gonna last. Like I said, I would go and have my nails done like once or twice a month, but I can't afford to do it. I'd go do them. I've been very, very careful. Christina has been doing other things that I'm not doing, and so anyway, but she, but anyway, we got done what we needed to get done today. Did not rain. And for some reason, I don't know where my panic attack decided to hit last night, but it did. So I had like it wasn't a major one. It was just not fun for a while. And so I had a panic attack last night, and then worrying about the fact that it may rain kind of all week. So I knew what we were going to do. I didn't wanted to make sure it happened because it was time sensitive to some degree. And so I'm trying to kind of keep this section kind of all blues, blues and purples down here. And then I'm going to move to like the blue section over here and then a yellow piece over here. I'm going to back to letters in a minute, but I have to give myself a break. And I do intend to do this pattern again, but it will be different. We're going to use wood letters instead of letters through this. I do have pattern I'm going to do that says Ohio, but the letters are spaced out more. I don't think that's going to be a problem. But this pattern, there's parts of it that are going to work and part of it that has to be modified. And I want to do more like custom word letter ones with words in them. And I've seen people do them, but they're a challenge. And I really want to do them more with like the wood letters and being able to put people's names and have this kind of stained glass on the bottom and stained glass look on the top, and be able to have them be able to put the wood letters in the middle. So we're going to fool around with that, and that way we have a Cricut machine that can cut wood letters. So that way if we do decide to offer these in kit form, we can be able to, if we want to offer them on kits, we can be able to just cut the letters out of our Cricut machine. So that's what I would like to be able to do. I want to go look at Hobby Lobby. I want to be able to order them from Amazon so that people that want to want to buy the pattern and just get the letters from Amazon, they know which ones we use for that pattern, and we can have an affiliate link for it. Making dinner, but wanted, oh, well, thank you. I'm just so blessed. I just thought of it today. I'm just so blessed. And it's been not an easy week. I will say this week has had some challenges to it. I was going to go live Wednesday, I think, and there was just I was going through emotional stuff, and I didn't go live on Wednesday. It was okay because I needed that space. I'm coming to the point in my life where I'm like, I'm not someone that, and I won't cuss on this channel, but I kind of gotten to the point in my life where I'm like, you know what? Either like me or don't. Love me for who I am, all of my faults, all of my things that irritate the heck out of you, and just accept me for the unique person and the way that God made me. And if you don't like it, there's the door. You know? And, I'm telling you, there was a man today as we were out where we were, and this man was talking about his family and his children. And his children aren't in his life, his grandkid is not in his life. And I just thought, what are we doing? Not that that's happened to me. I'm not saying that, but we were just talking, and he served in the military, and I just thought, what are we doing? You know what I mean? To our family. There's kids that are just, and we know families that have gone through it. They're losing their and I'm not. It's not happened to me. I'm not saying that, but they've lost their generational history because there are kids that are just saying, well, you know what, I just walk away from their parents and their family, and I'm not saying that there's some situations, there are, where you have to do that for your own well-being. It's a very difficult situation, but you know what, families are messy. I sat there and I thought about my grandmother when he said that. I thought my grandmother was bipolar. And yet my dad was there for his mother. Um, she lived in Daytona. He lived in Fort Lauderdale. He was there for his mom. He was there to love her and take care of her. So were my aunt in California. She took care of her as best she could. We loved her. I was there. Even when my grandmother had spent her life being mentally ill and somewhat abusive, which would be called today's world. Um, it would be child abuse. But they all were there. They took care of her and they loved her. And, you know, I get it. There are some families and there are some people where they just have to walk away from, you know, yep. And in your case, Alfonso, and I know a lot about it. I think it's warranted. That's why I said in some cases it is. Um, but I just think we lose it when Well, when there's just a trend where, you know, kids don't want to work things out. They just want to kind of throw up their hands with whatever, and they look at their parents in a way, and they kind of blame them for things. And I mean, there is a difference between a parent or a family member that is not good. Let me put this in perspective. For instance, my uncle was an alcoholic, and if he had not, and there were times where he stepped over the line with me. Now, if my grandmother hadn't been there in a way to protect me, he probably would have stepped over the line even more than he did. But hi, Otto. But I can tell you that if that line had crossed one more time, my dad would have taken care of it. He would have called the police. He would have taken care of it. He would have pressed charges. And I can tell you that my dad would have never allowed him to be around me again. And my grandmother would have just had to deal with it. I mean, that would have been it. Done. You're not going to be anywhere around her again. But after he knew, cross the line and do it again, and we're calling, things are going to take a much drastic step. There were things my family did, and my uncle didn't cross the line again. And so, but I'm saying if he had, my dad would have followed through, and he would have he wouldn't have had me around him ever again. He would have had no contact with me whatsoever until he got his life in order and he got himself clean and sober. So, what I'm trying to say is there are some times where you need to remove a family member or a parent from a situation. But I think sometimes in our world today, I just, and the gentleman said, he said, it's not, it's not my daughter as it is her husband. I'm thinking, when you marry in, there's so many, there's two cultures. You're marrying in. You gotta um yeah, what's that? There's cultures, and you've got two cultures coming in. And I was raised in a Greek culture that was a little bit loud, a little bit noisy, a lot of other dynamics going on, a very small family. And so my culture is very different. And when you marry into it, you have two different cultures coming in, and you have to learn. And and I think that we as parents, especially for our sons, as they are raised, we have got to teach them, wait a minute. When you go and you find that person that you're going to date, possibly marry, you need to look at them. If they're good people, you need to look at those parents realizing they sacrificed for that young lady that you're about to marry. They invested in her. They took time with her. They spent finances on her and resources on her and loved her and cared for her all this time to make her who she is, to become your wife. And when you look at those individuals, you need to look at those individuals, whether it is a different culture, maybe you didn't necessarily agree with, everything that they did to raise her. That doesn't matter. You weren't in their shoes. You have to, hey, sissy, you have to look at them and say, guess what? They did so much to be able to bring that woman to me as my wife. And I need to love them. I need to honor them. I need to respect them. And I need to treat them in a way that shows appreciation for the job that they did. I just think of how I raised my daughter, and like, I sacrificed so much for her throughout my life. Oftentimes I was going to get jobs that were you know They just weren't going to work because it was taking me away from my daughter. And every job I went into wanted me into a management position job. They all wanted me to be a manager. And I denied it because I knew I was going to take me away from my kid. She came first. So, I just think we've just run into and I think too, the art of debate we've lost. I really do believe that we have not taught our kids how to debate in a way that we can work things out, or hi, Teamy Twist, how to work things out. And if, for those people coming in, we are doing a project called Kinusaiga. I'm learning how to say it. It is a way of tucking fabric. We are using a board. We are using a polystyrene board. I just put a list. We have, well, I'm going to in a minute. We've That's our fabric list. Some of it does include what is it? Affiliate links. But and then again, guys, keep watching. The more you watch, the quicker we can get back to monetization. We're about 1,700 watch hours away from that goal again. So, but this is the art of tucking fabric in. This board is polystyrene. It's the Pink Panther board. That's what I call it. Yeah, I think we've lost how to do it. It's like, how do you talk to somebody, and how do you learn to agree to disagree? We've come it's like we've lost the art to say, okay, we can agree to disagree. You don't have to agree with everything I say. You don't have, it's like, it's okay. But I think we've kind of gotten away from that in what I look at it. And I think better teach our kids how to have disagreements and have ways of maybe learning from each other and having those disagreements, and how do you do it and so forth. And I think, you know and I also had to raise a child on the spectrum. So I still, at times, I love my daughter, but there's still times that are difficult because of it. There's barriers and things that happen because of the autism that's still there. And it's very different. It's a very different thing to have to do that and deal with that. But I just think, you know, we've got to teach our kids, you know, exactly how to talk and have it. And I just think to myself, you know, we've gotten to a place in our lives as a society where it's just like, okay, you offend me, you upset me, you forget how to talk. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Alfonso. Just thinking, you know, it's like, and I want this very, I'm not going to state my opinion about that, but I mean, look at what they're trying to do on college campuses. Look at people like Charlie Kirk and stuff. Agree or disagree with his, what he had to say, but he was trying to go on college campuses and just have dialogue, healthy dialogue. And some people didn't know how to do it. Like, at the end of the day, I'm the kind of person, listen, I'm like, you know what? I don't agree with everything you say. I don't maybe not agree with this or that, but you know what? I still love you. Hi, Kevin. How you doing? I still love you. I still want you to be my friend. You know what I mean? I'd rather walk away with a friend than an enemy anytime. That's my belief. And I mean, like, I will make friends with about anybody. Well, not about anybody, but still, I don't want to. I want to have friends, and so anyway, that's my 2 cents. But you know, I'm truly blessed with the friends I have, the daughter I have, husband I have, the mom I have. I'll be a grandma soon. Just think to myself, so grateful. And I think about, just I'm just grateful. I'm blessed, and I think to myself, yet, this project's not perfect. I picked a real doozy of one to do for my second one. I'll tell you what. Do not, do not, if you're doing this, do not do this. Pick an easy one for your second one till you get the hang of it. Don't do what what like I did. But the guy at the park was so nice. He was like, "Can I?" He was fishing. He said, "Can I sit there, talk?" And we talked for a little bit. It was just nice. It was like, nice guy. Thanked him for his service. Told him about my dad. Trying to get this down. There we go. Got a little curved. And here's another thing I'm going to say about this too. I'm in a group on Facebook with this project, with this art form. And it's really easy to kind of go into that group and sit there and say, you know what? Absolutely, sis. You know what? Um, and you look at people and you think, oh my goodness gracious, you're doing so much better than I am, and then I'll quit. No, you learn at your own pace. I don't think I'm doing half bad. Could I have been doing better? Yeah. Am I learning a heck of a lot? Oh, yes. Am I giving up? No. You guys are going to get tired of this art project after a while because I'm hooked. Actually, last night when I was in the middle of having the craziest thing, it's like I put my medication on it on it was I could it was like 10 I couldn't take my medication for like 15 more minutes. So I put my medication on top of a bottle, and it was some Tums. And I forgot it was on the bottle. And I went for the Tums, and I flung the pill. And this kind of medication, I don't take it unless I can find it. So I had to get down on the floor, which was not easy, and get the medication. I found it, and then I got up, and then I started having a panic attack. I'm like, where is this coming from? So that went on for about an hour and a half. I took Josh's arm, and I was like, here, I need your arm for a little bit. So he held my arm for a while. I listened to Stephen Dalton. I finally got it to somewhat calm down. I was like, I don't know where this is coming from, but I can tell you I do not like it. I was having that little ugly thing last night. It's just really crazy. It was like, where did that come from? All I did was pick up a pillow off the floor, and I got up, and I know when I'm going to have a panic attack, when my heart starts to race. It's not my heart. I notice it, and I'm not a huge Dr. Phil fan for everything, but that was a piece of information that he said that really helped me. He said, pay attention to the first thing that happens to you when you have a panic attack. And for me, it feels like I can't swallow. That's for some reason, that's my trigger to say, hey, there's going to be something coming down the pike. I don't know what it is, but that's my little warning to myself. Something's going to be triggered. And so anyway, that was my little thing, bangs on it. But then I could feel my heart racing a little bit, and I could just tell where I was going with it. And I'm like, I'd like to know where this one decided to come out of just absolute. It just came out of nowhere. It was like gravy. So I had to just calm myself down. I don't know where it came from, but I didn't appreciate it last night. Sorry, guys. I am really tired, but I thought if I come home and go to sleep at 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'm going to be a wreck tonight and we'll go to sleep. That will work. So I decided to come in and work on this. And I'm sorry, y'all, but this pattern will not be available. We're going to do it, but it's going to be a different kind of pattern. If this will work. I guess work. It's not too yellow. It's got a little brown if I kind of get to the brown parts. So we're gonna do this pattern, but it's just gonna be a little different. Well, thank you for coming in. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I agree, but we want to be able to put these patterns on our merch store. We won't sell them for more than like $2 a pattern, but and I think the reason I'm going to make it $2 is I think every pattern that sells, we do shoe boxes every year. So every pattern that sells, I'm going to put like 50 cents from each pattern and put it into the fund for the shoe boxes. So I thought that'll be a nice little way of helping that to grow. But anyway, to get back to my point, it's pretty, but it's really hard to do the in between. So the way we're going to work this pattern is we're going to do it so that this is the same on the bottom, but there's a line going across here. We're going to do another line across here, make this 2.5 inches, make the sun a little bit wider, make it kind of have two circles inside, and then have the line shoot the lines, the sun rays come out and have them line up here. We're going to order wood words from Amazon so that every point that comes across, people would know. We'll have like, this is where you can go and order them. And that way they can order the letters. And when they download the pattern, then each letter will be coordinated to where they can put the B and the L and all and so forth. So that's what we're going to do. And then eventually, if we ever wanted to make it a kit, then we have a Cricut. So we will go ahead and print the words on our Cricut machine, and we'll do another pattern if we were going to sell it in a kit, so people would know exactly where to put the words. And I will go to Hobby Lobby and find words in case people wanted to get them from Hobby Lobby. So I want to eventually do where we're using wood words instead of trying to do this. I will have a pattern for Ohio, but it's the Ohio spread out pretty good, and I don't think that's going to be an issue like this is. And I'm probably going to stay on here another about 15 minutes. I'm going to go have a shower and go get ready for bed because I could fall asleep right now. Literally. But I can't remember which day. I don't know if it was today. I think it's tomorrow. Uh, Team Temmie Twist. We gave you a shout out, but I can't remember if I think it's tomorrow. Don't quote me on it, guys. I'm too tired for that. But we did give you a shout out this week. Some point we gave you a shout out from both of our channels.
Sorry.
But tomorrow we will be going to the balloon festival unexpectedly. And so we are excited to we'll go take you. We'll let you see all the balloons. And our moderators will be going, so they've invited us to go because we all live far from each other. So excited to head down. It's in Ashland. So it's pretty. It's just it's not a functional piece, especially with the way the letters worked. Oh. Okay, you take care of yourself. Big hugs. Big hugs, sissy. She's not my real sister, but you might as well consider her mine because she is just she and I have just one of these days I'm gonna meet that girl. I'm so grateful for her friendship in so many ways, so many times. It's just I'm almost done with my tea. Oh, oh I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to yawn. Okay, well, I just did that one. I gotta find. I think we're gonna do this. This little orange part. I have a box of these like little tiny scrapola things. It's ending up being like all the little flowers down here. And I'm somewhat limited to the fabric. I have, so that'll certainly grow as we grow. So tomorrow, maybe I can come through tomorrow so that we can. I don't know if we'll finish this up. I may have to put this one aside because we've got the flag one we're going to start on. What day is it? I think Monday. Make him up on Sunday. We'll see. Yeah, you shall see. I just thought if I go to bed, I wanted this exactly what I wanted to do is come home and go to bed. And I was like, no, you'll regret it in a little bit. And I'm really glad I did. I'm really glad I came on and did this for a while. And I think if I had to do this, just the direction I went in, but I think I had to do this part on the bottom, and almost be like a grassy part down here. And to do it again. And I think too, if you took it and put like a solid piece of fabric across here and then did something, it would look better. But there's just, I'm learning on the tucking part. That's where I'm getting better and better at doing the tucking part. But you would think it would come in naturally. It doesn't. It's a learning experience. So I'm learning as I go on. So I think if I had to redo it, this of course would be the sun, and then these would kind of all be the same up here. There would be a pattern piece here, and then more like a grassy area, like this be the bottom and that be the sky, but that's fine. That's just the way it's turning out, which is fine. We're already starting with the fireworks. It kind of looks pretty to be with flowers down there. But that's probably the way I would do it. I gotta get to tilt this. So anyway, that's kind of how I think I would do it. I don't know if I'll ever use those little tiny. I put them in a little, like a little container. If I need them again, I can. Because then I don't have to find them. My mom's build. I'm using yellow. She's probably over the moon. And keep your little cutting tool handy, because sometimes I've noticed I thought I cut that little piece, but I didn't cut it deep enough, and then I needed to kind of go in and I'm gonna have to get some pieces that I just do by myself and turn on the music, and great therapy. Oh, it's like I was talking about it last night. I said, this is therapy, because when you do diamond painting, that's wonderful therapy, but you're limited to what you can do creativity. You're limited in, the pattern's pretty much put in front of you, right? You're going to put the diamonds in the places that they say to put them in, because that's how you're going to get your colors, right? That's how you're going to get your pattern. And so this, you really are kind of determining, unless you're sent a pattern. But even if you're sent a pattern, a lot of people that send patterns out, they give you some fabric and let you kind of be the runner of how you're going to do it. And then you have so much control over how you're going to do it. Diamond art's wonderful. But if it says, in order to make this picture look like it is, you got to put, this color diamond in, you're limited to, in order to make that happen, you got to make it be the colors that it's supposed to be. So that's kind of I find out that this is just, it brings my creative juices out in a way nothing else has ever done. And not that I don't have that same freedom with the crochet, I do. But I think that this is also kind of, it's kind of on the spot. You're just kind of deciding. I don't know. It's a different way of doing it. I mean, it's like when you go to the store, it's like the flag one. I kind of have an idea how we're gonna do that and what the colors are gonna be. But you go to the store, you pick out your yarn. If you've got a pattern, if you've got a bobble stitch pattern, you know what you're gonna do, and you follow the pattern. And you're following the pattern here, but you're making decisions. Just it gives you a creative. I don't know. It's just you have an ability to kind of just kind of. Maybe it's just freedom. I think that's what it is. It's freedom. You've got the freedom to kind of do your own thing. And you know what I mean? I don't know. That's what I kind of feel like. And I am taking a little bit of glue, this glue, and on these edges that are popping up, which you're not going to see, I'm just taking a little bit of. No, I don't want to do that. Well, it's down now, I guess. I'm just taking them and putting a little bit of glue so they just don't pop up. Oh boy. Just like nails stay together and they did till today. Can't promise that anything after today, guys. Nothing after today. Let's see if we can find something a little different. Kind of like locked myself into these flowers. Who knows? Got the green ones, but they're not. Those will go up there, but I want to look for something that's kind of. Yep, I think that's the color that's up there. I know it's like next door to it, but it's not home good with anything else really. Means that next to the heart, it's going to be too busy. I said it's like you get to make the decisions. I'm on the fly a little bit. It's just there's something about this. It's just very meditating. I don't know what it is. Can't put my hand on it. I need to pick this up though. It's just I didn't give myself enough room, and I can tell. I'm learning to be able to tell when it's too much. If I didn't put enough in there, then it's not going to lay flat enough in there. And it's going to come out. These little pieces at the end, you can pull them down. Sometimes that'll help them go into where they need to go into. Along with kind of putting a little notch here. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm realizing I'm just focusing on. I am not just. I'm just gonna. Oh, yeah. And by the way, Mary, you're live. Oh, I'm tired, but I am staying awake because I just knew if I did not, I were going to regret it. And just if you have your glue around, you can take it and just kind of just take it, put a little bit on. I'm finding that's helpful because then it kind of keeps everything where I want it to without it going all over the place. You're not going to see those edges. It's pretty. Yeah, pretty. Perfect? No. Pretty, yes. No, I want that. There. Right there. Kind of pulls in that green and that blue. Right there. Then we'll have to do a little cutting right around there. Because it's going to be a curved piece. And bring this up just a little bit over here. Again, take your scissors and just hit them curves because it does kind of relax it. Got half of this done. I don't think I can tolerate another letter tonight. We ain't touching the letters tonight, guys. It's not happening. If I had to do this again, I would make this like a grassy area on the bottom. I keep the heart, but I make it more like a grass, which I've seen people do, you know, like, really, Josh. I've seen people do like all the blues, and we're going to be doing that in the flag one, where we're going to be doing patches of stuff all the same color. Like the flag one I have and the design I have, there's going to be a sky and it's all going to be the same blue. So I've seen people do all the same blue. Like this should have maybe been all the same blue. Even though it has the cuts in it, it's kind of like the same blue that goes across. And that's fine too. We could have done this one solid color, just different little cuts around it. I just chose to do it this way. Would I do it again this way again? Probably not. Because it is a little busy. It's cute though with all the tiny like little flowers I found. But still, it's just learning. I'm like what I'm looking at from this process right now is I've learned a lot about this pattern. I have things I need to change. Do I want to give it up? No, because there's another way to accomplish this that would be better. But I'm also just learning tucking, easy for me to see, tucking techniques. I can't talk tonight, guys. I'm too tired. I'm learning how to tuck, how far to go, what's to work. And it really helped me when I kind of went back to the flag pattern and I'm like, I need to change this up or I'm going to have the same problems. And so then from the experience I had with this one, I was able to make a pattern on the flag one that was much better and much more Kinusaiga friendly. So, that's just from doing this pattern. It's like I was able to learn, okay, that's not going to work. We need to cut space here. And I think you'll see the difference just in that from the experience I've learned from that. So I don't sit here and go, okay, this was a waste of time. No, this wasn't. This I've learned a heck of a lot from just this little thing. And yet I look at this pattern and think, you know what? We all have blessed lives. In one way or another, there are things in our lives that it may not be perfect, but we need to look back and go, man, we were blessed here, here, here. Even in the tough times, we were blessed. Even in the difficult times, we were blessed. Even in the painful times, we were blessed. Like this little piece here is just never going to be perfect. It's going to be wonky. The thing almost popped out. I had to glue it down. We have to mend ourselves. We have to heal ourselves. And even after we do that, we're going to have little things. Josh has that thing on his chest that he had that thing removed. There is going to be a permanent scar there on his chest from that. And my daughter had a little hemangioma on her face. And I said to the doctor, he said, well, we can just freeze it. I said, well, I read about it and did research. There's a high chance it was going to come back again. I said, no, you're going to remove it. Now she has a little tiny scar on her face from it. We all have scars. Some of them are visible and some of them are not. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. We learn. through the whole process. This is not perfect. I can see fault all through it. But it's the learning process of going, if I had to do this again, I would be doing this different. I would make this more of a grassy section down here. This would be a word section. This would be a straight piece of fabric going across here. All those things in my head where I'm like, when I went back to do the flag pattern, I had to go back and do the flag pattern. But now I got to change this, or I'm going to have the same issues. And the flag pattern is going to be easier. But I wouldn't have learned it without doing this. I'm done with my cup, Mom. I wouldn't have learned it if I hadn't have done this one the way I did. Now, what are we going to do? Wait. I need some kind of green. Big green with that. If I should put. I think this, because even though it's the same, it looks different. It looks exactly the same, and I'll kind of blend in with the green. So sometimes you gotta trust the process. Sometimes you have to say, okay, what can I learn? And sometimes you have to say, you know what, I'm still blessed. I'm like, that guy at the park today, he could have been at home. I'm sure that it totally grieves his heart that he doesn't have a relationship for one reason or another with some of his family. But he could have sat there and said, well, I'm just going to stay here, not doing anything. But he loves going fishing. And he said, I'm going to live my life. And I'm going to enjoy my life. Despite the relationship that's not there. Do I miss it? Oh, absolutely. Is it sad? Yes. But he said, I'm going to still go fishing. So I'm going to enjoy my life. And that's what I think sometimes when we've had things happen in our life, we just shut down and we say, okay, there's no blessing out of there. Yes, there is. There's blessing out of the pain. There's blessing in the mix of the pain. And it's not fun to go through it, that's for sure. None of us like going through pain and difficult times and stuff, but there's blessings in the mix of them. Believe what you want to believe, but I think that God uses those times to grow us. And so, and I've recently said to myself, I'm getting to a point in my life where I'm like, people, you like me or don't like me. And if you don't, there's the door. So, I'm really sorry, but either get to know me or don't. But I've spent my life too much and people, I didn't mean to change, be somebody I didn't or not. Yeah, I'm just really getting to the point in my life where I'm getting sick and tired of it. I mean, that's the glue on my nail. Problem with gel nails is they don't come off very easily. You have a little bit of a structure time. They're put on there pretty hardy, which is good because I go get nails at the shop now. Whenever I treat myself, which is not very often, the nails, I go for the gels because they're 10 more. You're usually about $10 more, and they last a heck of a long time. And I don't care what I'm doing, I have done the regular ones, and sure enough, within moments, I sit there and they try to dry, and they think they're dry, and then you walk away and you're like, dang on it, I hit it, and it's like, it's kind of my, like, I don't bother. I'm gonna go get nails done, it's gels, because I didn't even bother with the other ones. Too often I have gone in, gotten nails done, gotten the other ones, sat there for hours thinking, for a while, thinking that they're dry enough. Sure enough, I bump them and forget it. They're ruined. And then they got to hit them again. And then I got to, it's just, the gel nails dry within minutes. And there's no way the other nails would have held up like this. So I was careful all week. Mom will tell you, I had laundry to do. I didn't even do laundry. It's like, I don't want to go back and spend money on nails. You haven't. No, she just made her coffee. I'm like, I smell coffee.
Yes, I do my coffee.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm like, you're not drinking coffee this way.
Container that I put my sugar and coffee grounds.
No, that's fine. I'm just smelling coffee. And I'm like, wait a minute, she's having coffee.
I was pressed.
Sometimes at night, if I'm like, can't go to sleep, I've been able to wake up and have a cup of, like, I'll go and finally say, okay, I don't have to do it very often, but sometimes I'll have a cup of coffee in the middle of the night and it'll put me to sleep. Nope. Sometimes if I can't go to sleep, it'll do something. And somebody told me it's just the fact that it's a warm cup of, it's something warm, and so it does something. And you would think to most people it would put you to sleep or would keep you up. It does the opposite for me. Well, it does the opposite for me at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Past that, no, it wakes me up to some degree. I look forward to my coffee in the morning, that's for sure. I have to have my coffee in the morning. People survive without coffee in the morning. I have no idea. My daughter is not a coffee drinker. I don't know what she does. Could never want to. That looks good. I like that. All right. Oh. Let's work on, I've got to decide which letter or what color I want. I think we're going to end with maybe a pink. Got to decide that. So let's decide that next. Thinking. Looks like this pink, which I think would look very good with these other colors. So I think we're going to do this for one of them. I'll do this at the end. I think that would be very good at the end. Excuse me. And then we need an orange, which I do not have a lot of choices for oranges in this mix, except for like really bright or like really not. So let's do orange. No, that's really, well, we gotta find another, if I can, that kind of looks like orange. Because that looks really orangey. There's a really, it's like it's crazy because there's like a lot of yellows. There's not a lot of oranges. Yeah, it's a good pink. I just gotta find orange. We may be stuck with that orange. We got brown. It's actually a pretty brown. It's like a sand color. I think we may have that. I'm going through the colors for a second. That's absolutely too bright. We're gonna have to go with that orange. Because otherwise it's a very, very bright orange. It's not, it's just weird. Or we don't do an orange. This is the taupe I was talking about. I think I like this after this. I'm not sure about this pink now. Well, that's kind of orange. Yeah, kind of not. It's kind of a pinky, whatever it is. I don't even know what it is, quite frankly. Nope. Nope. It's not gonna work. Hi, Brenda. We're just trying to figure this out, which colors we're going to go with. As I figure out the last little bit of this. I don't like that with it though. Where's that? I like that in the pink. Excuse me. Ugh. Yeah, fine. The pink is good, but I think I need to find a different pink because it's just not going to sit well with the other colors. I'm thinking, well, that's going to be too bright. Decisions, decisions, decisions. What's the problem? Kind of almost. Don't want to talk through some. Yeah. Oh boy. That orange is what's throwing us. I think that orange is going to have to go. You know what? Let's do this. Kind of like that better than this. And kind of like that with this. I think it goes better. So we can put the S, the orange after the S, just to figure the E out. And I think the solution to that is possibly that, maybe. You know what? I got an idea. I've got an idea. Let's do, where's the purple on that? Let's do, give me a second to find it. Again. So kill my back. And I'll turn it. Trying to find it and I can't find it. That's what. That was in this pile. It's not here now. Let's think about that for a second. It's white, which I'm afraid you're going to show this thing through. This is like a nice periwinkle color. Trying to find my other. Where are you? Make sure it's not sitting here someplace. No. See, this is the other orange. Where's that? I can't find what I'm looking for, and then streaming. I know I have more of it left. Got all the fabric in front of me. I'm trying to find a certain thing and I can't find it. And it's like I know we have plenty of it left, but I can't seem to find it. But I know I didn't use the whole thing up either. Looking for the first purple we used. And we can't find it. Like I know we didn't use the whole purple. And for a fact we didn't use the whole purple. Looking for this purple at the very beginning. So I thought if we ended this being the same thing, but why can't I find it? It's like, no, we didn't use the whole thing. And it's not in my scrap pile over here. It's not there. I'm trying to see if I see them here. I don't see it. That's crazy because I'm like, that was a big piece of fabric, and I know we didn't finish the whole thing. Yeah. No, when you have a piece of fabric and you can't find it, it's irritating. I'm just seeing if I stuffed it in here. Someplace. I have everything all organized. That's crazy because I know I didn't use it all. I know, unless I've lost my marbles, which at this point, guys, I wouldn't be. And I organized all this fabric very recently. So I know it's not in there. Oh boy. Well, guess that idea isn't gonna work. What happened to it? Maybe I threw it out of my hole. Whatever. I've got frays all over me. I'm doing this because I'm trying to see. I can find it. You know, when you can't find something, it's so irritating. I don't have no stack left. I think the next thing after that one to do is either I don't know. It's something like this, but that's gonna, well, not terribly, it won't. I think it's a balance out to actually do this by the green. Just the pink's what is throwing me. I think if we do this blue, well, y'all can't see it. If we do this blue with like the S, and then I think if we do this pink, that'll go better. And I can't find purple that I know I used, and I know I had more of. Or let's do this. Let's actually do the, let's do the S, this S, and this color, because it's not like right there. Then we'll do the D. I mean, I know it's not this one, but why I can't find that color, I have no idea. We'll do the D in this lighter blue or lighter purple. That would make sense. Okay, so we'll do the S. And either that or we'll do the S, because we'll kind of, no, we're going to do the E in this blue here. Because it's kind of like, this is light, now this is dark, and that'll work itself out. We just have to find, I think this may be it. I just don't know whatever happened to that other one. That, either that or that color, or maybe this color more. Or this. I gotta change the sheets tomorrow, so it happened tonight. Too tired for it. Or this. I could just like this. So whatever we do, it's kind of got to go like this, and it's got to go with the green. Or this may be the ticket. I think this is going to be the ticket. Not that. I think it's going to be this way, guys. This kind of looks like watermelon with the green. You know what I mean? Then going this. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. That I don't like. This one's staying for sure because it's the opposite of what we did. Like that. This is orange. This is what we'll do. I like that. That's what it's going to be. That's the ticket. So I knew we'd find it out. Where that purple went, I have no idea. Here it is. Aye, Columbus. I knew I had to. So maybe go this route now. But I found the purple. I like that. I do like that near there. Then do the purple being the same at the end. I like that now. It was in my lap the entire time. Oh God. She's Volker. I'm a mess. What mess? It's like, I know I had that dang on purple. Just looking for like, there we go. I think we got it now. I think that'll look good. Yes, I like that. That looks good. We'll do this here and then do this color there. Or we'll flip them. I think we're gonna do this because it will still look good. Do we need a lighter, like, ooh, ooh. Is it the same color as that? No, it's not. I like my jean color. It's a little different blue. Where to find it? It's just taking a little bit to find it. Oh. I think that's the best one yet. I like that there. I do like there. I like the gray. It balances it out, gives a neutral color. I think that's going to be what it's going to be. Okay. I think we found it now. Okay. We're going to do the gray. I'm sorry. We're going to do the gray here. And then this, I think this will look nice. Yep. Just needs a little bit of like a knot. Yeah, I like that. Hi, Dan. So we're going to do this for the S, this for the E. We could even do, nope, I like the gray between that for the E. And then we're going to do this for the D, which will complement this. And then after this, I'm going to go to bed. Thank you all for kind of helping me stay awake. So I'm tuckered. But I knew if I went to bed when we first came home, I would regret it. Because I was going to be too tired and then I was going to get too sleepy. And then tomorrow we're going to go to a balloon festival. So I hopefully will have signal and it will show you some of the cool balloons. Let's not lose our colors. We just spent 20,000 minutes deciding which way to go. Oh boy. For this piece of fabric, I have a teapot pattern that I'm going to be doing. And doing teapot. May not be able to finish the salt litter tonight. Really gotta go stick the laundry in the dryer. Ouch. By the way, that's sharp. Stab me. That seemed fun. It caught me. I'm okay though. It poked me. I'm paying attention. Oh, school and they sometimes bring hot balloons. Yep, I have never been to a balloon festival. I have never seen them up close. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. I've never seen them up close. I've never been in a hot air balloon. I don't know if I ever want to go in. I just am interested, and I think they do it like at night, from what I can understand. So then you get to see them glow at night. So it'll be really cool. Um, so you were invited to go, and I'm looking forward to it. So we won't. I was gonna sit and do this tomorrow, but it's okay. We'll do it another day. If I don't get this done in time for us, then we'll put it on the back burner. Finish it after we get done with our flag, because that's gonna be on Monday, I think. I was gonna do it started on July 3rd, but I can't because we're gonna be doing that event in our local area, and I'm gonna be tuckered afterwards. See, this is so much easier to do than the way I was doing the bee. So much easier. So, this the letters did create issues that, first of all, I'm not yet experienced enough to know how to handle or solve, and but I really want to use the word or the wood letters, for sure. And I'm just gonna. The E's are going all the way to the end. Forget trying to get in them little crevices. That is not going to happen. It is just, I can see it not, but it'll be ruined. Already kind of cut it, but if I can just bring the E shape to the end, that's exactly what's going to happen. Actually, I'm going to make that decision right now. I'm just going to cut it, and it's going to take it all the way down, because I do not want to have to deal with a little piece. We're going to take it all the way down. This is where, if you have your cutting tool out, you can make little, changes in your pattern if you feel like, you know what, that's just not going to work, and I need to make a slit someplace. So I'm not doing it. It's not happening. We're not going to fight it. Done enough fighting over the past little bit. I'm not fighting with fabric. Believe me, it's not happening. And just so everybody knows, I plugged in Mom's phone because I was like, I am not, because when my phone, the way my phone has to be angled to do this, I can't see it. So if my battery goes out, which my battery was pretty low when I got home. If my battery goes out, I can't see that it's gone out. So then it kills this mom's phone. So I got her cord. She's never really used her cord. She has another charger she uses, and they're both hooked into there, so I don't have to worry about all of a sudden losing you guys again. We're not doing that one again. Into a bowl of cereal. I'm hungry. My tooth is better. I've just been dumb. I think I did something. I bit on something that didn't agree. It's better. It's just still kind of sore, so I've been kind of babying it. We stopped on the way home. We picked up, what was it? We picked up Dairy Queen. We were all hungry. I just picked up some cheese curds, and I had a Oreo McFlurry, which was good. Tasted really good. But I'm hungry again because I haven't really eaten much last couple of days. Certainly much easier to do than when I did the E or the B. I think it made sense to finish with the same color that we started with. Get the D done. And decide what I'm going to do for the middle. I think we're going to do the same for the middle as we did here. That way those two will match. This so much faster than before. I wish I had started the B the way I did this one, but I learned. And it made me learn about the rest of how I was going to do other patterns from this. I mean, if you're buying your patterns or you're designing your own and you're not looking at possibly putting them up for sale or for other people to purchase them, it's different. But if you're going to be going, okay, going to be in a position to be able to do this so other people can be able to do this without, throwing their, you know, throwing their hands up at it, then you got to be able to do it in a way that people are going to be able to accomplish it. This one was a struggle. I'm glad I had the struggle. I'm glad I learned lessons, but it was a struggle. But you know what? Even in the midst of the blessings, we have struggles. I will be forever proud of this piece. I can tell you that right now. Be a part of me that will be very proud of my accomplishments with this one. I was going to come home and change the sheets, and I totally forgot. It's not happening tonight. It's got to happen tomorrow. But change it before we go to the festival, and then when I come home, I don't have to do the laundry. That's got to go to the washer to the dryer before bed. Don't think I'm going to have trouble going to sleep tonight. God willing. I don't have to worry about it raining. Second. Oh, that was horrible. It all worked itself out, thankfully. Very thankful. It's not that I'm not trying to talk. I'm focusing. I'm like, you just get involved and it's like, oh. So I'm like, I've got to come and do some patterns just where I just have myself. It's just very relaxing. And I think that the key too is to realize that you do your best, but you're not going to have everything be perfect. It's not going to look like manufacturer perfect edges and where everything's going to lay down like it should, and where you're not going to see maybe little bits of fraying happening or something like that. I mean, you can make as solid lines as you can, but it's not going to be perfect. So, oh my God. Wait a minute. Piece coming. Piece not laying where it should. And give yourself time to have a learning curve. You know, you're just going to get better and better. Let's get this little piece in here. Hi again. I'm not going to be on here too much longer. I'm going to. Oh. 11 o'clock. I'm getting tired. I'm glad I came on though, because that would not been good to fall asleep and then wake up. I was afraid if I went to bed, if I got showered and got comfortable, I was going to go to sleep at 8 o'clock, and then I'd wake up at 10 o'clock going, oh, howdy doody, ready for. I was like, I don't want to do that. It's going to be. I said, that's probably not the smartest cookie in the world to do, Mary. Oh, I just thought, oh, come on. And if we were going to be on tomorrow, I probably wouldn't have. I would have just crocheted for a while, but I didn't realize that we were going to go to that event tomorrow. So what I was originally planning to do was going to change. So you all are going to see. And we've got the flag one coming around the corner, and I thought I got to work on this one more. Probably not going to get done before that, but we can. We can come back maybe on Sunday or something. Really? Tell me it's not enough. Oh. Piece of advice. One piece of advice is don't do challenge. You're learning this. Do a simpler one your second time around. I think for what we had to do, we did a pretty good job with. All right. Don't get in there. Thank you. Yes, I talked to my crochet too. When I'm man enough with it. Just gonna get this little piece tucked in there. Enough. There we go. That was so much easier to do. That's a lesson learned too. That D was like, compared to the B, it was a piece of cake. Piece of cake. That took no time at all to do the D. It was so much easier. Mocha hair got on it. I don't know. So, I'm learning so much by doing this one. It's not going to be a pattern that's going to ever be available because I've wanted to tear my hair out with this one. I haven't. It's not that I haven't enjoyed. It's just been it's been a challenge. I got myself a good challenge on this one. That's for sure. But we're going to do this one, but it's going to be it's going to be a different look for it. It's fine. But boy, did I learn a lot. That D was so much easier to do than what I had to do with the B. Boy, it just came together like butter. So that's that. Well, that's awesome, and I'm glad I encouraged you to do it. And that's what I should have done. And I didn't do it. I started off with a I mean, I think the rose was pretty easy compared to this one, but then I had to start with what I thought was going to be easy, and I think it's just my I can honestly say that it's my lack of knowledge with this. Like, oh, this will be really easy to do. And it's just my lack of knowledge. If I had to do this again, I would do all of this the same color blue, which I've seen people do. I would do this more of a grassy knoll, even though it's pretty. So this was a more solid pattern part on here on the bottom. I have seen people, and you're going to see. Yeah, I have a lot of patience. Um, and it's given me a lot of patience. I think it's part of my crochet too. Um, one thing too is the flag one that we're gonna do. Yep, the flag one we're doing on the 29th. There's gonna be parts that are gonna have the same blue color. So I did learn that I don't need to change everything. This whole thing could have been the same blue and it still would have looked good. It probably would have looked better because it wouldn't have been so busy. This down here could have been like different shades of green instead of, I mean, I still could have done the purple, but then from here on should have been like shades of green. And I just started with this whole little tiny flower thing and it just took off. But I could have picked like little shades of green all the way through here on the bottom, and I didn't. So it's just learning. I'm learning how to tuck. I'm learning like this was really simple to do when you have the cuts. And that's one thing that I'm like, I went back to my flag pattern and I went and changed it. I was like, nope, you have to add more of your cuts in here. because I started looking at that pattern very different than I had looked any than the previous ones. I looked at it from segments. You know what I mean? Like these are all segments. I looked at it and saying, is that segment going to be difficult to make a line go and happen with that? You can't do that. So I had to do it. So I I I modified it because I had learned so much from this. That I'm like, that's too big of a segment. That's not going to curve around enough. I've got to put a line here so that I can put a segment here. So it's just a short little piece. And they even put like flowers on the bottom of the pattern when I did it through ChatGPT. And I'm like, nope, those aren't going to work. So I have to change the flowers. So what I'm going to do with the flowers on the bottom, because I like the flowers, is I'm going to do them so they're almost like little pie pieces. And then I have little sparkly little silver balls or even like little rhinestones. I'm going to put that in the middle of each flower. So I'm like, I need to change that. And then I looked at the stem of the flower. I'm like, the stem of the flower needs to be bigger. It's not big enough. So believe me, it all came from this. It's like it all came, and I'm like, I did this whole mess. I don't know. Let's see if I can. You're good. This little mess here, this thing popped out last night. It's a mess right there. But you know what? We all have scars. We all have things. We all have times where we heal and make mistakes, and it's not perfect. When I look at this, I'm going to say, I can do this. I can do this. I can do about anything, right? Almost anything. No, I'm not picking up a sewing machine and doing that. Not a sewer. So anyway, I'm gonna finally go off to bed. I am tired. But thank you for keeping me awake. So I didn't fall asleep. Thank goodness today the rain didn't happen. You know what I mean? I'm very, 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 very thankful. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go to bed. And I will see you all tomorrow. Hopefully, I have a reception at that place because it'll be nice to take you along the ride for the hot balloons tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. I'm just gonna see when I get there, kind of thing. But get a bin so you can put all your supplies in the bin. And then you're not hunting for them. You have all your supplies in one place. Okay, I will let you know. I'm planning to email you. So absolutely. You've been very gracious and I appreciate it more than you know. And you're just here and it, you know what? You're just a blessing to our community. Just yourself. Nothing else is needed. And I appreciate it. Guys, you mean a lot. Yep. Put your supplies in it. And here was one other thing I did. Because I have my fabric stash, which I know is going to grow. It's going to grow. We're going to go down to the place. There's a Amish fabric store near us. This whole thing just took a dive. And we're gonna go down and see that place. I've been there before, but it's really awesome. So, that may be something too down the road as we grow with this, that if we like that Amish place, if people like see some fabric or something that they really like, because it's going to be a little different than what you're going to find at Hobby Lobby and so forth, maybe we could, purchase it and then send it to them if they wanted it or something like that. But we're going to go visit that store. I'll take you all over there because it's pretty impressive. But I did this because I was like, I had all these little scraps I didn't want to put back in my kind of organized pile. Um, so I just found this tub in our house, and all of these like little tiny that aren't really squares anymore, like that. They're all in here. So if I wanted to pull something out, like this little piece is going to get lost in that pile. That little piece right there. So having it in a bin like this, I could just go through and go, okay. Or this little piece, I don't know if I'd use it, but at least it's in here. And I had this rock. Mom had this rock on something, but I didn't know if I was going to need it outside when I was outside the other day. Or like this. These little things are going to get lost and all that. So if you have a container where you could just put your like leftover little pieces, that way they're not going to get lost in the mix of, this pile of, this is all pretty much whole pieces. You know what I mean? But they're going to get lost in this. So that's one thing that I did because I'm like, okay. And you cut them and then you have them and you're like, okay. And this cutting board came from Sam's Club. It's an actual cutting board, but it's really sturdy. And Josh had one left and he said, I want it back. And I'm like, yes, at least it's organized. And I was like, yeah, you'll get it back. And now I'm like, you may not get it back. You may have to go get another one. And I did post on the channel. There was I joined a group on Facebook that has this art form, and there is a lady on there. There was a lady, somebody posted a YouTube channel that somebody actually did a frame. It was an actual like, she took cardstock, and I loved how she did it because she literally just took the cardstock, she made it to the size of the thing of the frame, and she just plopped it right in there, and it just looked like a perfect match frame for her size piece. It was great, but like a shadow box, but the shadow boxes are hard first because they're, first of all, they're expensive, and this one made it so that if you did, and this is a 9, roughly a 9x6, but it's not quite a 9x6, so we can measure it and get accurate measurements. Or if your picture was a, I don't know, 11x9 or whatever it is, and they didn't have a shadow box for it, you can make your own out of just cardstock in this technique. I have to get uh like a card maker thing with the little slits on it to score, but it just makes it where it makes the frame. Yes, it makes the frame. So you just take this, plop it out, and then go ahead and put cardstock on the back, or put the self stick felt on the back, or what have you, whatever it is. And I loved her technique, so I did share her channel today because I found it the other day because I wanted you guys to be able to find it. She had a lot of other wonderful crafts on there, but I loved her video on that. And then I posted the video so people on our channel could see this is one way that you could frame these. And one thing I liked about it is if we do eventually sell kits, we could actually make the frames so that people could order the frames done and they could get the image cut, the fabric, the seam ripper, the scissors, and the frame all together in one. So when they get done, they just put it in and they got an instant frame. So I love that. So I've just got to work on that, of understanding how to do that technique. So anyway, that's pretty much it. But tomorrow we'll head to the balloon festival. We'll see how I am on Sunday. I may try to see if I can. I don't really have. Yep. I don't know. I mean, we really don't have too much left on this. I may be able to finish this up, and then I'm just gonna hold it in one of a kind, like me. I will do this again, but I'm going to do it differently for people to make it easier. But this will be one of a kind. And this piece is really special because I just look at it and think there's imperfections in this. There's some rough spots. There's some parts that fell out and had to be mended back together again. It's not perfect, but I'm blessed and we can make something beautiful out of any situation. And so I love this will always hold a special meaning. The rose will hold a tremendous meaning, but this one specifically, and boy, did I learn a lot. It changed exactly how I did patterns. Oh, well, this is how you don't do this. This is how you don't do that. So anyway, I'm gonna go off to bed, have some cereal, and hopefully not have a panic attack. But I think I'm so tired, I don't think I will. Um, but anyway, I'm just very blessed and I'm very thankful. So, with that being said, guys, I love you all. I will see you tomorrow sometime. We're supposed to be heading that way about 4:30, so we'll be there 5:30. I think the balloons go off around 7 o'clock. Is when they go like up in the air, so we'll see. But it'll be interesting to see, and hopefully it doesn't rain tomorrow. But that's kind of what we're doing. So take you around and see the balloons in the air. It'll be cool. And I just posted a short today that just was Elvis singing. I didn't know he saw that sang that till he was in the movie, into the epic movie. But it just was it was oh happy day, and I just thought, yep, it was a blessed day today. And I just kind of showed you all where we were today. It was beautiful. Just a little time as family doing something special. So I love you all. Remember to be proud of being you. Everyone else is taken. Keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook is required. We have you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered. And we'll see you tomorrow. Not up in the air, but kind of up in the air with the balloons in Ashland, Ohio. Love y'all. Talk to you later. Have a great night. Bye bye for now. And for those that prayed for no rain, thank you. Now pray for no rain tomorrow, and we'll be good. It can rain all day on Sunday. I really don't care. I'm thankful. It literally, when we left where we were today, it rained. It like just like drizzled, like just sprinkled right before we got there. And then literally we were driving away and it started raining. Not major, but just enough that we would have had to end what we were doing. And it was like we hit the window perfectly to get what we needed to done. And it was really precious. So thank you to all that prayed. Love you all. Have a great night. Bye bye, everybody. Remember, you're blessed. You're not perfect, but you're you. And you better stand and being proud that you're you. Because you know what? I'm proud that you're you. Love you all. Bye bye, everybody.